That's all I
It's
got
the
for you.
old Birdies, no Bogeys podcast right here on JomezPro. That's your host, Brian Earhart, right there, serenading on the banjo. I'm your co-host, Nate Perkins. We've got a third co-host again for the third day in a row, Gannon Buhr, #1 ranked player in the world, current world champion. And we have two very special guests joining us here today. Together, we've got Missy Gannon and Paige Pierce, I believe coming from Paige's house in Pensacola, Florida. Thank you guys so much for joining us here on this Christmas Day episode. It's really a pleasure to know you both, to call you both friends, but to be chatting with you today. So, Paige, how are you doing?
Great. Thanks for having us. Merry Christmas.
Well, yes, Merry Christmas to all. And I have to start the show off hot. I have to start the show hot. The three of you down there, Gannon, Missy, Paige, in the Whatnot game deep. The chatter of the 2025 season was the Whatnot competition. And it was wild to see the landscape of pros vending and doing sales and entertaining kind of move to this platform this year. How has everything been going for you guys this year running those shows, Paige and Missy?
It's been wild. Paige got it going for herself and for other people that were down here. And then, we talked about it at the end of the season, doing something together, kind of exclusively just us. But then, sometimes we'd have a couple other friends come in and, I didn't really know what to expect. I did do one during the season, during an off week with a bunch of women, Allie, Ella, Holland, and so many people, and it was super fun. And I obviously watched a few of other Whatnots streams. But yeah, I honestly didn't know what to expect in the off season. I guess everyone's just hungry for more disc golf, and that's one way to get it, is to tune in and hang out with some of your favorite pros and interact, and then just buy some frisbees. So it's been really fun, and it's taken a lot of energy out of me, but I'm trying to, it's just, but it gives me energy too, to be able to actually interact with the fans, and I think that's honestly my favorite part. I told Paige, like, I'm not really like I don't really have that selling bone, but I love the interaction part of it. So that's kind of my favorite part about joining her on these Whatnots. And it's just a lot of fun. We try to have as much fun with it as possible.
Yeah, we did a Christmas stream last night, and it was just so fun. Missy, like, if she's doing anything, she's doing it 100%. I think you guys can, like, a good example is like her press conferences when she's got, the I Heart Cock shirt, or like she had the walker when she played against Owen, and she really like goes for it. And
which is why I'm burnt out after 3 hours on a stream. I'm like, oh gosh, we're still going.
3 hours.
No, we did 5.5 hours last night.
5.5 hours.
Yeah.
Is that
That's
because
what I'm saying, Nate?
Yeah.
Hey, you could have left. I mean,
well, I kind of did, but I stayed.
Yeah, it's like, no wonder the migraine came today. So how is that? Because you just have a consistent flow of people that you don't want to shut it off because people are being, engaging with you at the moment, or did you have that like set before? I don't quite know how Whatnot works at the moment.
Yeah, it's just live. Honestly, it's like going Instagram live, but also with eBay in there kind of thing. But I think like we've always gone 3 hours, 3.5 hours. But yeah, there was just like 150 people still there, and like we were just having fun. I know Missy was tired for sure, and she's a trooper. She could have left. She did.
It sounds like she's working in a factory. She's like,
I know. I'm like, what? It's a Friday night. What?
It's a long shift, boss.
Yeah, but no, we had fun. We also like she got like a Christmas tablecloth and a little Christmas tree, and we had Christmas bells, and we were doing like caroling and stuff. So
to be fair, to like kind of piggyback on what she said, I do go hard when when I'm gonna do something, I do it as close to 100% as I can. And I had woken up yesterday morning at like 6 a.m. to go to the store by 7 a.m. to like get a bunch of stuff for this. And I was really excited about it. And I'm happy that I did do that. But I think it kind of, took a toll on me as we were going through the Whatnot. And I was like, okay, I've been up since 6 a.m. This is why.
I definitely slept in. Definitely slept in.
Gannon, you've also been hitting the Whatnot pretty hard. And it sounds like there was a bit of a Whatnot battle going on between streams. What was going on out there?
Yeah. So I think honestly, the Gannon beef started a couple weeks ago or something, because I was, I kind of started doing Whatnot this offseason as well. My friend Matt, that we're doing it together. And off season you don't have much to do, so I was like, might as well, sell some frisbees. It's a great time as well. But yeah, I think we wanted to do a show. It didn't work because I didn't want to like overlap with like another person. So I was like, okay, we'll just do it tomorrow. Didn't even check. And then turns out Missy and Paige were having a show. I think that one of my first Whatnots I did, or somewhere in the early phases of that. And then Missy's like, bro, like move it back, come on, or something like that. Like, and I'm like, I'm sorry. And then was that yesterday? I get so lost already.
I sent you more text messages this offseason than I ever would have expected sending you. Text messages. Only about Whatnot.
Yeah. Only about Whatnot.
Because it's happened 3 times now where like we like plan it out. We're like, okay, next Thursday. Okay, good. On Tuesday, I'll do that. On Wednesday, I'll do that. We are such planners about it and getting tablecloths and stuff. And we check the schedule and it's like, okay, nobody's going at that time. We'll do that day. And then Gannon 3 times in a row now. He's not on the schedule.
Yeah. I don't know if it was 3 times, maybe 2.
It was literally 3 times. And I was like, I texted her yesterday. I was like, is there actually something like wrong? And she's like, no, there can't be, no way. But I am
we typically, our number 1 day is Tuesday that we do it, but sometimes we did probably 2, maybe 3 Saturday streams, but Matt couldn't do his stream on Saturday, so we did it Friday, and then that was just what it was. And I wasn't quite as festive. They were all dressed up and everything. I just same thing, just had my normal clothes on, and it's probably why I had less viewers. So it's what it is.
I think the more players that get into it, the more you're all going to have to up the ante. The music, the dancing, the costumes, it's going to turn into pure theater at a certain point. It sounds like you guys are like rival hot dog stand owners in New York City or something like that. It can't be posted up in the same block.
One away on the thumb click. That's all it is.
True.
You choose the Gannon or the Paige,
True.
Now, is it all disc, or are you guys rocking some like game worn jerseys and some apparel and like what's really like selling? Yeah, what are some interesting sells that you've had, Gannon?
I sold my phone case because I just got a new phone. Sold a napkin I ate a brownie off of. Don't worry, I threw an extra disc in there. They didn't know about it, but just because I was a good guy, And then I sold because like I had a fridge behind me, like Matt's fridge, and people wanted like pictures off his fridge, so we sold some of those. I've sold lots of like game used jerseys, and someone wanted my sweatshirt off my body, so I sold that like 2 streams ago.
Wow.
Hat you sold on Luke's channel at I think it was Green Mountain.
Yeah, and that was kind of when I first got introduced to Whatnot. Was Paige was there. It was Luke Humphrey's stream with Kevin and Hebenheimer, and I got invited over. Luke's like, yeah, dude, just bring a couple discs you want to sell, game used. Like they love that. I think that's the best part about Whatnot is people just want to have like the players either game used discs. There's a couple people specifically, like me and Missy both know about it. Big Z Disc Golf, he's a huge collector with like the game used stuff. So when I was growing up, like I always really was like, dang, I want that player's disc, and like this is your first chance you can really do it. It's super easy on Whatnot. So that was my first introduction to it. And I mean, I had heard about the rumors of how popular it was, and even like what stuff was selling for, and then I was like, well, I'll try it out this offseason.
I'm going to go on and start selling baked goods. I'm not going to sell a single disc. I'm going to have my own channel. I'm going to play the banjo, and I'm going to sell brownies. You know what? I'm going to do one.
You definitely should.
I mean, was it Ezra or Isaac who sold a blade from their ceiling fan?
And then they did it again on the next
$45 or
There's
something.
no limit.
Yeah, the second one they were like, okay, you guys love the thing, we're gonna do another one, and it was $19. And he's like, and this time we're gonna include the screws so you can just screw it into your blade or whatever. And yeah, it was just so funny. I tuned in right when that was happening, so it's so funny. Like I think you're gonna get discs and caddy bibs and deja vu cards and stuff like that, but like those things are memories for the fans too. And it's like I can just picture us like at a tournament in 2026 and someone's like, dude, I bought that napkin, Gannon, like, or whatever it may be. And it's just like, that's a lifelong like memory for that person. So I think that part's really cool too.
I went Instagram live a decent amount a few years ago and just randomly talked about stuff with people. And there was this one fan. It was the year that Minions Rise of Gru came out in theaters. And he would always comment on my streams, "Are you going to watch Minions Rise of Gru, Brian?" He would ask this every stream, multiple times per stream. And then finally, at the end of the year at Maple Hill, I'm on course commentary. I'm crossing up into hole 3's fairway. And behind this tree is a guy that's like, "Have you seen Minions Rise of Gru yet?" And I'm like, "Whoa." And I turn around and I like gave the guy a hug and I was like, "You're weird, man." And I'm not going to see that movie.
So did you watch it?
Never saw it.
Oh,
never saw it.
Too.
Good movie?
There's got to be a reason. No, I don't know. I mean, not
you
no.
should watch it and send him a
Great
selfie.
movie.
Is it?
I've never watched it.
Kid knows.
Sorry, guy. But yeah, it's just funny how intimate some of these like interactions are in disc golf. How close you can get to the people, how you can buy a napkin from a brownie Gannon 8. I mean, it's a strange purchase, but also like it's kind of funny that we're still that close to the people. And I want to maybe open up the conversation to you guys. I feel like we've gotten better at crowd control. We've gotten better at separating the players from the fans on site. But in 2025, do we feel like there's still a lot more room to grow with that? Do you feel like there needs to be more separation from player to fan?
I would just hate for something to happen. I love the intimate part of it, but I think that, sometimes the most action is taken after something unfortunate has already happened. And, hopefully that won't happen. But as the sport gets more popular and way more spectators are showing up to events, I think that there will need to be a more emphasis on security. And I do agree. I think that it has been taken up quite a bit of, quite a bit more than in the past. But you just never know, you can't live in fear, but you also you just never know what could happen. So, I mean, obviously, more security could never be a bad thing. And so, yeah, I would be a big advocate for that. And, whatever we can do to help with that, whether it's, from a monetary standpoint or whatever, I think we can all strategize to figure out ways to make that a priority. But, otherwise, it's just, I love hanging out with the fans. I will sit at the autograph table for 2 hours if that's what's necessary. And, I don't know. It's such a balance because we are still such a small sport. But, everything will kind of come in time and we'll kind of see where it takes us. But, yeah, just hopefully nothing triggers that, necessity.
Yeah, I feel like ditto to everything she said. I feel like the one thing I would say is don't take away those encounters that we have and hey, I finished my round, I go watch lead card and I'm standing beside someone on hole 7, watching Gannon make a putt or whatever. Those things are awesome. The only thing that I would say changing is bag checks. I don't care how close they get to me if we know they don't have a weapon. I don't care. I want to have those interactions with fans, but yeah, it's just any event you go to, football games, concerts, schools, they have metal detectors and security precautions. And I think that we're to the point now where there's no excuses that we don't have that. And I know that they try to, but yeah, I just think it's very important. Very important.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Gannon?
I mean, yeah, I agree with everything. I think even if you look at the PGA Tour, I mean, those guys are hitting drives through rows of people. They're real up close. So yeah, I mean, as long as we have those, security checks and stuff like that, we could even start having more premium VIP tickets and stuff like that when it comes to the spectating side of things, where you can have those up close and personal interactions if you're, a part of a special group of people that have the VIP pass and stuff like that. So, I think that could be definitely something that could help grow the sport and just make it that much more exciting to be in person spectating.
I will never forget, and I'm sure you guys can all attest to this. It was before COVID, and it was before crowd control really started to get refined and focused on a higher level. And I remember Utah Open, and it was right when Brody Smith started touring for disc golf or trying to do something with disc golf. I forgot exactly what year it was, but he was on like the 30th card or something, and there was like a flood of fans of disc golf walking across fairways, not knowing where they were going at all, just to find his card. And there was no signage, nowhere to like usher the people into the hole correctly, no ropes to tell them what paths they can actually travel safely. I feel like we've come a very long way, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting path to traverse because yeah, I think one of the special parts of the game is being able to walk around. And I had the blob, that the prototype for that catch disc I'm coming out with in January, and I was getting to show all the fans and walk right behind the lead card with them, and I thought that was such a cool experience, being able to do that.
I actually
What
just saw that disc coming off the press. I was just at the warehouse like last week, and I
Wow.
saw them off the press, and they look awesome. They
and
look
very
awesome.
heavy.
Very
That's
heavy.
that's unfortunate. I'm sorry.
Wait, what?
Gannon's thrown the blob.
Oh, it's just the inside joke
He's
about
saying
the
it's
blob.
unfortunate that you saw it, Paige.
That I saw it.
Unfortunate,
Oh.
I'm sorry,
unfortunate you had to lay your eyes on it.
It's so heavy. It's so flimsy. It's so impossible to control.
You can't forehand it. It doesn't fly good.
Oh man, do I have a treat
Wait
for
till
the
you
disc
see his
golf
ad.
world soon?
Wait, you haven't
yeah.
released your ad yet, Brian?
My infomercial. No, it's not out yet, but it's done.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Anyway, moving on. I want to just ask Paige and Missy. We've asked Gannon to kind of reflect on his 2025, but here we are. It's Christmas. How was the year in general, outside of disc golf, inside of disc golf? What was 2025 like for both of you?
It was great. 2025. I feel like, just like I'm to the point in my life where like every day is just a blessing, It's like every day it just keeps getting better. So it's like, yeah, 2025, like could I have played better? Yes, of course, but you can always play better. I did get a big win, so that felt great. And yeah, it's just hard like goals wise, like coming from like I had one season where I didn't lose a tournament until July. So it's like knowing that I can do that and that I have done that and then not doing that, like you can try to get, or not try, but you can get down on yourself. But I feel like I've been in a pretty good headspace and just like take it as it comes and the wins will come and just keep trying and keep pushing and don't give up. And yeah, I feel like I had a great year. But I am also just like looking forward to next year. It's crazy. Like literally, what are we, 8 days away from 2021 or what?
Whoa.
That was a throwback. 2026,
throwback.
right? Yeah. 26. So I don't know, time just keeps going and it's like there was no off season. Like I go to New Zealand in like 20 days and I get back and have 4 days before the first pro tour. So it's just
No way.
It's exciting because I felt like it was a good year, but it didn't have to end, Here we go. We're just right back in it.
What about you, Missy?
It was a great year. I feel like I keep feeling like, I'm one of the older people on tour, but I went on tour in 2018 and I just wouldn't have expected, the fact that I feel like I've continued to kind of improve upon my season from, my previous season. And honestly, halfway until my first win, which I think was Champions Cup.
Of this year, you're saying?
Yeah. What was my first win this year?
Yeah, and then
Anyway,
it was Champions Cup.
Yeah,
I think so. I think so. That was what, May, and I think that I felt like I was kind of off to a slow start. And that was sort of just like, I feel like a Kickstarter for me a bit. And then, kind of just after coming back from Europe, I just felt like I was taking off into a whole nother level. And, it's just kind of incredible to think back on my last, 5-6 events of the season and just kind of, I almost just don't, it's kind of unbelievable what I was able to do. And yeah, it was just one of probably, I feel like one of my most successful years. I think that maybe 2025 2025 or 2024.
We're all
sure.
doing it.
Maybe it's a close rival, but they were very similar, the 2024 to 2025.
That'd be a cool stat to grab.
Yeah.
Like numbers wise.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be cool.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it was just an incredible year, especially the way that I finished the season, and also just sort of learning about, I think I remember thinking about like the way Kristen played, especially during her dominant 2023 season. You know, she would have a bad round, but she would end up winning the event. You know, she would be able to bounce back so well. And I kind of felt a little bit of that this year. I never thought of myself as one of those people that can just sort of, I always thought of myself as somebody that can kind of just keep it steady, not shoot super hot, but never really kind of shoot myself out of it. But this year, especially, I was kind of finding myself in those situations where it looked like I was out of it, and then I was able to rally back and shoot those hot rounds, those double digits, or those just more under par than I would have expected previous Missy to be able to do. And nothing really changed other than, I don't know, I was just able to kind of dig deeper than I have been able to before. And I definitely kind of felt a little bit of that Kristen vibe that I always admired in her. And so anyway, I'm rambling, but yeah, it was one of my best seasons, I would say. And I'm also really looking forward to 2026. I say that although I haven't really looked at the schedule. So I've also been really adamant of keeping myself almost away from disc golf a little bit this off season, because, and I've done that in the past. I've done that almost every off season where I really do try to take an actual break. It's really easy. We're all addicted to disc golf, and it's really easy to just continue to play disc golf every day. But again, I say at my age, I just feel like I need to prioritize actually taking a break. Disc golf is my job, and I need to kind of chill out and prioritize other things that should, be important, that are important to me, and that I want to kind of take the place of disc golf when I have that time to be able to go visit family and go do other things that I'm not able to do for 8 to 9 months out of the year. So yeah, I've been trying to, again, be very aware of where I'm putting my energy. And so once January 1st hits, though, I'm ready to really, really hit it hard and get back into it, because end of February comes very quickly. And, it's easy. It is like riding a bike, but there's obviously going to be some things that I'm going to have to, ramp up to be able to start the year off, where I left off in 2025.
Well, yeah, Missy, the seasons are hard to discern between, right? But I feel like some of your best stretches of golf all time were certainly this year. I'm thinking specifically later in the season, like that stretch at Throw Pink. I think you shot maybe 4 or 5 over par. Was it round 2? And then you come back round 3, and you had, I think, 10 birdies in a row in the wind at Winthrop. And it's those kind of stretches are just, they just don't happen. And you did that a few times throughout the season. And I think that those stretches were some of your best disc golf all time. And you mentioned that you hadn't looked at the schedule yet. And it's funny because that was the question I wanted to ask both of you guys at this point in your careers. Missy, I'll start with you. When you do look at the schedule for the next season, what are those, how much of it feels like almost like a burden, I suppose, like, oh wow, I've got to go here, and how much of it feels just like pure excitement and opportunity?
I think honestly, when I look at the schedule, at this point in my career, I think when I was first starting out, I was like, I have to hit every single event. I don't care what it would take. But now I try to be more picky, I guess. I don't feel like I missed that many events last year. But I definitely didn't play every single event. And I think that, yeah, I have that privileged to be able to kind of pick and choose which events I want to go to or which events that I actually really enjoy, even if maybe it's typically a lower purse than something else. But if it's just a course that I really love, or an organizing committee team that I really like, it just depends. But yeah, like I said, I'm able to be a little bit choosier, and I don't really think it feels like a burden. I think there's maybe a little stretch in there that I've heard, because I haven't actually looked at it, but from my friends,
U.S. women's.
I've heard the
coming
U.S.
back
women's
to Utah. Yeah, it's a weird one.
that's going to be interesting, and so I'll have to figure that one out. But other than that, I'm just so excited to be back. Once we get there, that I'll probably sign up for more events than I might actually attend, and just try to figure it out as we go. But I it's easy to have that FOMO too, but I also really love having that weekend off, and I'll tune in and I'll be watching, and it's just kind of awesome to be a spectator too,
Yeah,
so
it is.
So yeah, that it never really feels like a burden. It's just going to take, anything worth it. It takes a little bit of work to figure it out.
What about you, Paige?
Yeah, I get excited about most of them. There are definitely a few that I don't love playing, and not even necessarily, like Des Moines comes to mind, and it's nothing to do with Pickard Park or the organizing team. Like, both of those things are amazing. Pickard is awesome, and Ty and his crew are just top notch, but like it's always just 105 degrees. You're in a parking lot.
Thunderstorming.
Or tornadoes.
There's always
Yeah.
hailstorms. Like
Yeah,
it's just
every year.
never like, could we play there in the fall or something? Like I want to go there, but no, I skip it every time. But also like yeah, so I've played every single tournament there is, like, over the last 15 years, like at least once. So I kind of know, okay, did I enjoy myself? Did it feel like a burden? Yes. Okay. Don't give up. Try it again. Okay. It still felt like a burden. Okay. Maybe this isn't my thing. But even with that in mind, like I'll still go back like a few years down the line if I haven't been there in a few years. But yeah, I just try to take breaks mid-season. Like if I see an off week, I'll either skip the tournament before that or the tournament after that. And that way, instead of like 3 days off, I get like 8 days off, and I can actually fly home, see my family, and like actually have a rest. Because if you just skip one weekend, you're really not getting time off. You're getting 3 weeks off or 3 days off, because you still want to practice and travel. So yeah, that's kind of how I've set my tour up these days, and like I've gotten used to flying. So yeah, flying in and out when I need to, and be able to go home and recharge and rest, and get like, make sure that like that fire is still burning, and I still have like drive and passion to like be there and like actually want to be there. So yeah.
Gannon, I remember you playing Q series events like last year or the year before, and being like, what is he doing at these events? I feel like you can't stop playing. You told me a couple of years ago that you just have to be playing an event. Is that still your mindset this early in your career?
Yeah, I think I'm just so bored. I'm so bored if I have nothing to do. Like I dread traveling if I don't have a disc golf pro tour event. Like I hate it so much. So you know, the best way to numb that pain is just playing a Q series or playing an A tier. So
You
yeah,
should find some hobbies though, like maybe.
Numb that pain.
I mean, I have hobbies. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like, and I don't know. I'm not sure what it is. I guess I see, it's weird because I do get tired of like, I definitely get burnt out. Like that's definitely something I still deal with. Like I guess not still deal with, like I deal with, but after certain stretches of events, after like Europe, after doing all that traveling, going to, Europe to China to the US, and, not having an off week, like physically one, just completely burnt out. But then even toward the end of the year, I kind of started to be like, oh gosh, another tournament. I'm getting a little burnt out. I still enjoyed like the feel of, competing and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a weird like love-hate relationship I have with like traveling, playing tournaments, like but overall, when I am competing, that's probably when I'm most happy.
You know, Perkins, I want to ask you, were you the same way when you were touring? Because I was absolutely not. I feel like I had to take breaks. I got burnt out every year at the same point in the season. What about you?
No, I was hungry to play every weekend if I could. I felt like the more I played and the more I was in the tournament mindset, like the faster I was improving, and I was always, chasing, like breaking through new plateaus. So I think it's different when we're talking about like two of the greatest female players to ever play and one of the potential greatest MPO players. It's like when you're like middle of the pack and you're still striving to get better. I say sign up for as many tournaments as you can, because there's no better practice than tournament practice for that caliber of player. I think once you reach a certain point in your abilities, that it is a little bit more about, treating yourself and being in the right mindset. So it's different for everyone, but for me, I was chasing the B tiers, chasing the A tiers, and just had so much fun competing. And then after being on the tour for 6-7 years, it started to change a little bit, and I started to prioritize experiences over tournaments. And I'm happy that I made that transition, because if I played 2 tournaments in a month, then and I had the rest of it to just experience that area, it had a bigger impact on me in the end.
Well, I want to ask the first question in regards to the first giveaway of the Christmas season, and kind of move the conversation along. This is a Paige Pierce Soul with a bear heart stamp on it. This is the first giveaway of the Christmas special. And fans at home, leave a comment answering this question, and you could be chosen to receive this disc. What is the single strangest thing you have encountered or experienced on the disc golf course? And just use your best discretion. PG ideally, PG-13, that's fine. But I'd love to ask the people here in the show. Do you guys have an answer off the top of your minds? I got one. I'll start.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys think.
Yeah.
Go first. You go first.
And this is a tame one, but it's one that sticks out in my mind as one of the most confusing disc golf rounds I've ever played in my life. So I was playing a tournament in Indiana, and I really don't want to out this person, so I'm not going to say what tournament. But I'm playing on this card. There's this guy that's playing up from intermediate, and he has this reputation. Some guys say, "Oh, you're playing with so-and-so. Oh, they're fun, man. They're so fun. They're always taking the craziest lines." And I'm like, well, that sounds terrible, actually. This is a wooded course. I don't want to be looking for disc the whole round. Well, this guy lived up to the expectation and reputation and then some, and it was horrible. He played bad. And this guy is looking down a tunnel where the shot is so stock, you're throwing a baby hyzer down a tunnel and the basket's off to the right. He's throwing sideways off the tee into nothingness. There's no local line. And he did this on every single hole and shot like 20 over par. It was miserable. Halfway through the round, my jaw was just starting to drop. Like, how is he having fun? I don't understand why. Like, is he pranking us? This
I
is
feel like it was a
mind-boggling.
long-term prank, which is just hilarious.
The commitment to that was absurd and upsetting. Like, it was just like constant 3-minute timers coming out. I'll never forget that. That was a strange one.
I'll go next because something you just said triggered something. This is not what I was thinking of, but you just said he committed to the bit, and that just reminded me of Estonia this year, Brian. With you, I was leaving the course, and in Estonia, we take the Lime scooters everywhere. And I was just about to start the ride. I hit start ride, good. I go to hit the accelerator, and it gets stuck down. And it's just stuck full speed. Just zoom. And I hadn't even put my feet on it yet. I was just about to like kick off and get on there. So now it's in my hands going in circles, zoom, full speed. And I'm absolutely panicking. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to get hurt. I don't know what's going to happen. Like, what do I do? And I look up like deer in headlights, like hopefully somebody can help me. I see Brian, and he's just like blank face, like, or blank eyes, but he's just like dropped, his mouth, jaw dropped. And I finally like take my other hand and like pull the accelerator out and get it stopped. And he's like, just starts laughing. And he's like, wow, that was a funny bit you did there. And I'm like, what?
I thought you were joking.
No,
Wow.
I was not joking. I was terrified. Also, that wasn't on the course, so I don't know if that counts, but just reminded me when you said he committed to the bit, because this was not a joke. I was terrified, actually.
I'm so sorry. So
it's okay.
for not helping you in need.
Well, I don't know.
I walked away from that interaction thinking, did I do something to piss off Paige? Because you were panicked. I thought you were like upset about something. It was a bizarre interaction. I'm glad you brought this up. We squashed the beef now.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you didn't fall on your face. That's great.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll-
Missy saw
I'll go.
her best friend break her leg on the disc golf course, so
Yep.
that's pretty up there.
Yeah. I wasn't gonna bring that one up, but I mean, we can. But it's actually a blur, to be honest. I feel like, hey, we might as well talk about it. Yeah, it was just we were practicing early in the morning. It was, the beautiful morning dew in Norway, as it is, and I honestly just was behind Paige, and she went over
Were
the
you
little.
right behind me, or
I
was
was
Tom?
right-
You right
were the
on. So
person
you
right
were
behind
on the bridge. You were
Both of
actually
them were
on
on
the
the
bridge when
bridge.
she
To the point
there was
where
three
I-
people on the bridge.
Okay, so I almost, you didn't see it. You were on the ground. But no, you went over the bridge first. I wasn't quite on the bridge yet, but when you went down and I heard the noises coming out of your mouth, it's very loud screams, I
Ow.
started running to her over that same bridge. And because I'm just, in go mode, Tom grabs me and pulls me back while he's not on the bridge because he saw what was happening. And so, yeah,
Wow.
I was saved from potentially doing the same thing to myself from Tom. And so I gingerly walked over. I don't even know. I might have just jumped the creek. I really don't even remember. But yeah, that was probably the wildest thing I've ever seen on the course. And, I just go into sort of like, okay, what do I do mode? Thankfully, it's such an intimate event. And, we're all hanging out after every round at night over there. And, I had known that Seth Muncie was in Norway. I don't know that I would have necessarily known that because, again, we're in a tiny town in Norway. But I'm glad that I knew that because he's the only one that I knew could help in this situation. And so, yeah, I was just sort of fumbling with my phone and finding his number and trying to get him on the phone. And he was there, what felt very quick. But in the meantime, Tom and I were just trying to calm her down, stabilize her. I was holding her hand. We were trying to just figure out what we could do without making the situation worse. And yeah, it was just a wild blur. Yeah, I'll never forget that. We were only on hole 7, and so we were like, okay, well, all right. Like we're just trying to figure out what even the rest of the day looks like. Obviously, we know Paige was going to the emergency room, but again, we're in Norway. How does that work? Where does she have to go? We're learning as we go, and getting as much insight from the locals as we can. But that's a process in and of itself. We're not in a place that we typically we don't know how healthcare and things work over there. So it was just crazy, and yeah, again, a blur. Like
crazy.
that from my perspective,
Yeah, I
it was
remember
just like it
certain parts
happened
of it.
and then it was done. And then I was like, okay, what do we do? Like, how do I even
You were very
go
calm.
on?
You handled it super well. She was like yeah, so we're on hole 7 and I think you should get here very soon. Yep, she's on the ground. Yep.
I said, Paige
Wow.
fell.
Yeah.
I remember just being very direct.
You
Like,
were very matter of fact.
Paige fell. And then Seth says, okay, did she break anything? I said, I think so. Get here as soon as possible. And he was
Wow.
like, okay, on the way.
And
then I was
Tom,
just like-
Tom had pulled a obese steak out of the ground to like use as a splint, and then he couldn't figure
Actually, I need to correct you because you have said this before, but
Okay, what
I have
happened?
never corrected you
What
because I
happened?
haven't been with you when you've told this story. That was actually Seth who did all of that because Tom is a
Why
wilderness
was
first
Tom's
responder.
shirt off?
Because they did use his sweatshirt or whatever layer he was wearing
But
to.
he got that off.
Yes.
Okay.
So it was after Seth.
Okay,
I mean, you
Yeah.
were convulsing.
Some of it was a
basically.
blur.
Wow.
You were very in shock. Your body
Okay.
was in shock. So like I have been
Yeah.
meaning to correct you on that story, just so you
Okay.
can. But that was after Seth had arrived because he's obviously has EMT experience and Tom has wilderness first responder experience, so he was just able to kind of keep you calm. But yeah, that was that's
Wow.
how it all went down. I guess.
Then maybe not the weirdest thing, but it was
It
weird.
was the most shocking
I was just
thing
walking,
that I've
just
ever
walking,
experienced.
taking a little stroll.
Yeah.
In a loose term, I would say weird, but yeah, shocking and horrible is more like it.
Right.
That sounds bad.
Yeah.
You got anything that comes to mind, Perks or Gannon? Any bizarre experiences over the years?
Go for it, Gannon.
Yeah, I'm gonna go a little weird on this one, I think. So me and Alden were, I think it was after Santa Cruz one year. We were heading up to, I think, either OTB or up toward like Portland area. We just finished, and so we wanted to go play Golden Gate Park. They had the Polecat World Championships happening, and so me and Alden competed in that. And we were like halfway through the course or whatever. Well, first of all, on like hole 7, I got like smoked in the head by one, and this dude runs over and he's like, oh my gosh, you need an ambulance. Like, are you gonna die? Like, I'm like, I'm fine. Like, it hurt, but like, I'm good. And he was like freaking out because like he knew it was me, obviously. But so that was already kind of weird. And then kept playing a little bit, and we're probably like 12 holes in, and this dude comes up. He's like, who are you? Like, what? Just like kind of mess with us. He has like full like golden grills, teeth, and everything, and he's just like, I'm just playing. Like, he's like, I don't want to be weird, but like, I watch you guys while I'm in the bathtub. What? Never heard that one before.
Not to be weird or anything.
It's
Love
a little
that.
weird, but yeah, I mean, that was just kind of an odd day in general, and there was some weird people in San Francisco in general. So I mean, I don't know.
I've had some wonderful and wild times out there in
We
San
had like
Francisco.
off course, really weird things. Just people who are
awkward in front of
just
you,
not in the right mind, saying really weird stuff, and stuff like that.
Fun times. In San Francisco, I was driving a very large vehicle. First time really driving a large vehicle. And I drove down this hill, and then I saw a car coming at me, and I realized I was going the wrong way down a one-way, and it was a single lane road. And I had to back this vehicle up all the way up this hill with all these cars looking at me, just screaming, just like honking their horns super loud. I have no backup cam, so I'd back up a little bit. It was like a 30-foot RV. I'd get out of the car. I'd look to see if I'm going the right way, back up a little bit more, get out of the car, look again. And it took me like 5-10 minutes to actually get all the way back up the hill and clear the path for the people to drive. So probably the most embarrassing moment for myself on tour happened in San Francisco. So I understand.
Okay, I'll go with mine. Mine is actually the one and only time I can say that I've seen what I felt like was a UFO. I don't know if it was alien, but I was in Montana. I was driving west to east. I was going back to maybe the preserve from potentially like Beaver State or just the Portland area, but stopped at a course in Montana, and it was pretty late. I was hitting some putts, and the sun set, and I was still feeling it, so I was still throwing some shots out there, and saw like a little trio of orbs, like lights in the sky, and I was like pretty far into the course, like hole 12 or something, and all of a sudden, like I was fascinated with it. I was looking at it. It was low in the sky. It was barely moving, and didn't look like anything I'd ever seen before. But then all of a sudden I was just like overwhelmed with just fear. I'm like, they're here for me. I got to get out of here. And I'm just like grabbing my disc. I ended up leaving one of my favorite discs. It was like a Color Glow FD3. And I remember leaving the disc, and I was like almost back to the car, but I felt too afraid to like run all the way back and go get my FD3.
How far away were these like orbs? Were they like half a mile? Or were they like 200 feet? Like,
Oh no, it was probably a few hundred feet. Yeah, it felt close. Felt like I could see
oh,
it pretty clearly. Yeah, like
oh,
like a little. It
those
was like a
Starlink,
little
like that's
cloudy.
10 miles away. Like, you should be good.
Yeah, right. I still don't know what it was to this day, and I love the idea of UFOs. I've listened to a lot of stuff on it and read some books about just in general UFO sightings, but that was the first and only time I've ever like really felt it, and yeah, there's just the fear that came through and like caused me to like run back to my van and leave a disc.
Wow.
That one I'll never forget.
Wow.
It was good.
I learned something about you today, Perks. That's wonderful. That is wonderful. Wow.
Yeah, apparently, the aliens aren't, here to get us, so there's nothing to be afraid of. But I don't know when it's the unknown, you never know.
They're here to get me. I gotta leave
Maybe
my disc.
maybe they're like, he's one of us. He's throwing these like flying objects. Like, we gotta go get our boy. Who knows?
And with the northern lights behind you in your background, it's just a fitting story.
That's what I was
hope
thinking. I was like, oh my
Wow.
God, that's perfect. Perfect
funny.
story.
That's funny.
with your name bedazzled in the distance. That's just beautiful.
So funny.
Well, moving forward, I want to just do a little bit more reflection on 2025 before we kind of move into the final segment of the show and do some more giveaways. Tosi, our producer, pulled a bunch of clips of some of the best moments of the season. And I think all three of you down below us have some clips in there. I'd love to watch these back. I'd love to reflect on them. Tosi, do you have anything for us? Do you have any little nuggets? Oh, baby.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
Who's ready?
we could hear
My
this
first ace
so loud.
of my career in tournament.
Are you serious? That blows my mind.
Yep. I'm
feel
really
like
good at getting the
basket.
disc close, just not into the
Yeah.
basket.
Also, this is
What are you
such a
throwing
tight
here?
gap.
That was an ESP Thrasher fitting, I know.
Those 7 Maple Hill.
And what's
Yeah.
even crazier is my game plan was actually to throw something a little bit more stable on a flatter line and kind of get like a baby flex out of that shot. I think it's like 360 or something that hole. But it turns out I can get a hyzer flip there. So it didn't work out round 1, and I believe that was round 2, and I just changed my game plan to the hyzer flip, which I typically is what I want to do through a tight gap, which our hole 7 is a really tight gap. So I'm glad I made that change, and Tom and I were like, yeah, let's try it, and then my first ace in tournament happened.
What
It was funny because
Mhm.
I found out when I was doing my pre-round segment, and I found out that you had aced, and I found out you aced 7, and I kind of reacted to it, and they spliced my reaction right after your ace, which was pretty funny. Tosi, more nuggets. Give us more nuggets. Keep playing them. It's got some sound, I hear.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited. And this is her slightly more overstable Pierce that she's going. Has good height, good pace, drop in, it's in! It's in the bucket! That's an eagle for Pierce! She's running it down! Let's go!
I have goosebumps, Ian. What a moment for Paige.
What a shot. Way to bounce back off the double, erasing those strokes in a hurry, Val.
And the best way to bounce back.
So I'll start
When
from
Nate said
my perspective.
Overstable fierce. I was worried.
I was
because
too.
She has.
I'll start with my perspective first because to give the listeners context, I got to call that shot, but I'm on the course, and it's very rare that I actually get to call a shot live. Like every now and then they'll send it down and the producer will green light me and say, hey, you're going to call this one live. And if I recall, Paige, you had just made a previous mistake, maybe a 3-putt. Yeah, I think you 3-putt the very previous hole, and it felt like it was slipping a little bit, and then I'm right off to your left. They tell me I get to call that shot, and Up to that point, I felt like it was one of the better calls and just the better moments for me of my Disc Golf Network like broadcasting career, because you like put yourself back in the game. And obviously, like you and I have a lot of history, one of my great friends, and getting to call a fierce shot, go in for eagle like that, like your signature shot, and just to be able to say that you were running it down, it was just electric. It brought you back into the mix. And yeah, I mean, you're battling Missy, right? Like
Yeah, Missy and Kristen.
that's Missy and Kristen. And so what was it like from your perspective, Paige? What do you remember from that moment?
Yeah, it was like a series of 3 holes, honestly, that is just like those 3 holes are gonna stick with me for the rest of my life for sure. Like, but yeah, it was, that was hole 9. So hole 8, I took the tee. I birdied 7 and I took the tee, and I was like, okay, I got honors here. I haven't got anywhere close to hole 8 yet. Like, what am I doing? Just hit the gap. Like, stop worrying about how close you're gonna get. Just pick your straightest disc, hit the gap, and go for it from there. And I did. I nailed the gap, and I got so excited out of my hand, and I was just like, yes, I don't even care if that's a birdie. I just didn't miss the Mando. I'm gonna get an easy 3, but should have a birdie. And I actually 4-putted. I was putting for 2, and I took a 5. And the first one you miss, you're like, damn, okay. Second one you miss, you're like, ouch, and then you start hearing the whispers and the this and that, honestly, that really got to me. Like, sometimes you're mentally strong. That moment I was not. And yeah, missed another one and 4-putted. And we always have a backup on that next hole, the hole that I did throw it in on. And I had quite a few moments to collect myself and just kind of give myself a pep talk of like, you still have over half the round. Like, that was only hole 9. You have a half a round. Or that was hole 8. Like, you have over half a round. Like, you can do this. You can do this. It was going to be tough. I have literally not just Missy, I have Kristen as well to like battle. And they're the 2 most consistent players like FPO's ever seen, I would say. And I was like, okay, I'm going to have to get some birdies here. I was not thinking eagle. But yeah, just get my drive up there and let's get the birdie and just keep pushing. And out of my hand, I gave it enough height. It was headwind, and I was in between my zone and my stable fierce, and I did not want to throw the zone because I was gonna have to put it out wide over those palm fronds, and that's like bringing bogey into play. So I was like, just throw the fierce, trust it, put it high, and give it the elevator shot. And that is like my favorite shot to throw, and just like watching it just come down, and it just one of those moments where it just felt like slow motion, and it dropped in just like so fun.
I think the only times you'll see Paige run is after a frisbee,
Yeah,
probably.
sure.
So
When
she
threw
started
it in
taking
or
off,
trying
I
to
think
catch
I was
it?
more surprised. I think I was more surprised when you started taking off after. I'm like, she's running.
Oh, I was amped. I was amped. Also, like, part of that is too, like, definitely, like, it feels like an ace in that moment, but it also is just like instantly erasing the biggest mistake of my weekend, probably the biggest mistake of my year. And it's the pros and cons, right? Because it's like I didn't even get to sit in that and have to like work myself up and talk myself up. I was just like back in it. So pros and cons, right? But yeah, I was just so amped up. I was too amped up, honestly, and I thought the running was going to help too because I was going to have to breathe it out. But it was just so electric. It was amazing. Love it.
Roll it, Tosi. Number 3.
Tosi.
Ooh, got something for Gannon. A little bit of sound here.
Gannon.
Yeah, 2 FT3s here. The glow one is straighter. This Horizon one is more overstable. Needs it to have a little chop if he goes with that one. Yep, going more overstable, so I want to see it with a little bit of chop. I like it. I love it. Oh! It's unreal! The shot of the tournament for Gannon Buhr. A mind's eye shape.
Come on. What a shot. What a call.
Gannon, you want to start with what are your memories of that moment there?
Yeah, I had no clue when in. I didn't even hear it. I saw the spotter or the UDIS guy or whatever, or the PDJ lab guy just sprinting back toward us. I'm like, what? Did I hit someone? Like, whatever. But he was like, just like freaking out. I'm like, there's no way that went in because like that is not possible in this hole. Because it's like it's going downhill too. Like I feel like you don't generally get a skip when you're going back downhill. Because I mean, it used to be a par five. Obviously, it was a soft one, but like at the time, I was like, there's just no chance I went in. And when it went in, I was like, okay, I'm back 4, but now I'm back 2. And I'm like, I'm right back in it again.
Back in it.
Yeah.
Man, that was a moment. And from my perspective, I was with Brian at Brian's house. We were commentating from the booth. It was my only shot at the booth this season, and we were deep into the moment because Gannon and Paul were battling. Macbeth was like playing amazing disc golf and still going for his first win that year, and of course Gannon is the number one player to beat. So Brian and I are just locked in, and I happen to know Gannon's bag pretty well, and I see that he's got the FD3s, and obviously I know that spot so well. I've thrown that shot a lot. Obviously never tooed it, but it was I mentioned Paige's was the best up to that moment, but then this is my single best call, and a moment I'm proud of because it's like all the knowledge, the course, but then just being in the moment, being able to talk about it. And we had just gotten the telestrator, and so I'm like getting to draw on the screen like he needs to throw it right here with a little bit of angle. He does that, and then it goes in, and I'm just like, I can't believe that I get to share in that moment. Obviously it's Gannon's, but it feels special to just be able to play a small piece in it by like letting the fans know what he's throwing and what's going on. And then of course that tournament for MPO ended up being one of the best ones because Gannon and Paul battled to the very last moment, and Paul goes on to win. So really special memory there.
Yeah, it was crazy. Just like you literally drew the exact angle I threw it and the exact line. Like it was almost like it was like a snapshot, like predicting where it was going to go, and it was like exactly where the disc was. And I mean, to this day, that's my favorite commentary round of the year. I mean, I've said it before, like Brian and Nate doing commentary is like two peas in a pod. It's like my favorite duo, and you guys were just on fire there. You had some. I think I hit a putt on 16, and then there was a great like Nate. You said something funny, and like
yeah. It says something about global warming.
Yeah,
I said global warming is a hoax.
That clip was so funny, bro. Like just like, and then Brian's like, a wild statement to say after this putt. What is going on? Oh,
that
clip is so funny, bro.
I kind of thought I was gonna get in hot water for that one, but it was just a little joke, and no one ever said anything to me.
Joke. It was so funny. That was my favorite round ever. I mean, it sucks losing that tournament because like looking back would have been so much more enjoyable if I ended up winning that. But like it just cheered me up. Even after I lost, I went back, watched the coverage, and just the commentary was just the cherry on top. It was so awesome.
Well, this is a perfect transition because Tosi pulled a clip for you and I, Perks. So this has nothing to do with Missy, Paige, or Gannon. This is from the same tournament, though, because it was that throw in from Kyle Klein. Roll it. It's easy to do commentary when it's so fun and the golf is so compelling.
Only 4 down. No bogeys.
This will be a fun shot. Really understable. This is super flippy origin. Watch it glide out. We got another one!
What is happening?
Are you serious? Gets the flippy origin to glide out into the bucket. I can't even believe what
are we watching?
Unfolding.
Look at this little pop of the wrist. That's a catch frisbee.
I'm telling you guys, we're seeing it live. Brian and I have no idea that these shots are coming.
There were so many highlights that round, that entire tournament. Yeah, Idlewild always delivers for me. I think it's one of the most underrated tournaments on the tour. Some people I know don't like it, but I love it every single time.
Well, as we were watching that clip too, I recall Missy throwing in from over there. Missy, that's pretty close to where you threw in from on the
Yeah,
14th,
super
right?
close. I think I was just over the ravine, like on the left side of
Lefter.
where
Okay.
Kyle was. Yeah. It was very, very similar though.
On that same hole, one of the greatest, most underrated clips of all time that doesn't get talked about happened there. Kevin Jones threw like 130-foot downhill air bounce that went in. Do you guys remember this shot?
Yes.
Mind blowing. And we never talk about it. And I feel like we need to find this clip at some point
Is that
because
the
it's one of
tournament
my
he won? Year he won?
Like
May-
2017 or 18.
It was
Okay.
wild. Like he easily didn't have to do that. He did not have to throw that line, but he did it, and it just went whoosh.
Same
Swooped
year
right
James
into the
shaved his
basket.
beard, maybe?
Ooh, yeah.
That was a
Throwback.
moment. That was a moment
was
in time. Yeah.
crazy.
Well, because James won 2017
Okay, then
and
maybe it
Paul
was
18.
Wait, Paul was 18.
Yeah, I think
Wow.
Kevin.
Maybe Paul was
Kevin
19.
won- I think Kevin won
It
in
was
19.
one- Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yep.
Well, it sounds like Tosi has a Kevin Jones clip that he wants to play next, and he's chomping at the bit here.
Oh, I was caddying. This was nasty.
Yeah, you were caddying. I remember this.
This is brutal.
Talk about this hole. I mean, it seems like a pretty straightforward par three, but
Ugh.
I saw a lot of people on commentary screw it up.
Easy to do.
I mean, the commentators screwed it up. What do you mean?
No, the players were
The
screwing the
players.
hole up. I was on commentary, commentating the event, and a lot of people were messing this hole up.
Okay, I was like, what? I mean, this hole's kind of tough. I feel like it's so right in front of you that like you have to get it. And in my opinion, it's kind of a weird distance where a disc is like either about to fade or it's going to keep carrying straight. Like, even though it's like one of my favorite shot shapes, like just flat that has a little fade at the end, maybe even a little flex, I was having trouble committing to it. I was throwing it inside early left. I would pull it over to the right and it would never come back in time. And he throw, I think that's maybe a T-bird he was throwing and a little bit of a straighter disc and just pops it up. And I remember hearing about this one, and that would have been like kind of a dream ace just because it was such a cool looking hole.
I feel like it's easy to do for sure because you don't want to pull it right and go in OB, and then now you're bogeying a hole everybody's twoing, so you kind of mess up early left just trying not to go OB. Yeah, it's easy to screw that one up. Or if you're too high, you hit those branches. But yeah, that was incredible shot. That was so sweet.
One more clip before we move on and kind of wrap up the episode with some giveaways and some discussion on that. I want to take it to MVP Open because I was there on course for the FPO and you guys were throwing off into the abyss in round one. And I want you both to talk about that because I've been playing for 22 years, never seen anything like that in my entire life.
Wow.
Oh,
Crazy.
It's gone.
thank God for spotters.
Wow.
Circle one.
Yep. Yeah.
Like, what did you guys think? You couldn't even see the basket from T1. Like, was it an enjoyable experience? Was it annoying?
Well, what's even crazier, I think it was kind of cool. It's like we don't really get to experience that much, and it was just
Hole 13 was
lifting
impossible.
enough the fog when we were finally teeing off that it you could barely see the basket. But then I saw pictures from earlier cards, and it was thick, so much thicker than what we had to deal with, and it still was really, really difficult for us to see. So yeah, and especially like hole 8, that's already kind of just nerve-wracking, and then you're I don't know, it just makes such a difference when you're not able to really aim, when we should still be able to just throw those shots blindfolded, after all the practice that we've had. But it just, I don't know, just added an element of like, okay,
for sure.
Hopefully I can get it close.
For sure. A few elements too, because like for me, the visual wasn't the problem because like I play so much night golf, like I'm kind of used to that, and Maple Hill's like the back of my hand at this point. 13 was crazy, just aiming into a line of trees. But more like for me, the struggle was like it might as well have been a rain round with how like moist the air was. I could not get a grip on anything. Like it was just wet, and like Maple Hill's just known for the spectators and how many there are and how loud they are. And it was like they matched the vibe of the day. Like they were still out there, but they were like it was just like haunting, like, oh, it was eerie, beautiful, just like, yeah, just so cool. You're just like, is this really happening? Like, also for me, like, I'm not a morning person, so I'm like, did my coffee kick in? Like, what is going on here? Is this real? Is this a green screen? Like Nate's perks, Northern Lights back there? What's going on?
Did my coffee
No,
kick
that's
in?
real.
That is real. Wow.
That is real. That's where the orbs they live back there.
Some Montana
Okay.
orbs.
Well, Perkins, you have a giveaway as well, and it's much more
Mhm.
massive than mine. So feel free to give
Sure.
the fans the rundown.
Well, I've got a bag right here, and I don't know if this will be the exact bag I give away, but
Not a green screen.
not a green screen.
Oh.
This is a pretty sweet backpack. Clash Discs made it and gifted it to me. I also have a lot of what's the company? Upper Park. Are they in business anymore? Do you guys know? Are
I
they still
don't
selling
know.
that?
Not
I
familiar.
haven't seen anything from them, but I did some work with them a few years ago, and I have a few of those bags, and so I'm gonna put some discs in it and ship it to a winner, and yeah, that's my Christmas gift to you guys, to one of you listeners at home, because I appreciate you.
What is their guideline? What do they have to do to get entered into this?
Okay, what did we say, Brian? I'm always harping on the gratitude. So I think that I want to hear what you are grateful for how disc golf has impacted your life. What has disc golf given you that you are grateful for? And I think we will choose a comment on YouTube. So if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts, go comment this on the Jomez YouTube channel. Is that correct, Brian? All Birdies, No Bogeys podcast on Jomez YouTube. Leave your comment. That's how you're gonna be entered into this giveaway.
Well, I'll answer your question, Nate, and actually kind of leads us into the next discussion that I wanna have. When I stepped onto that plane with Missy and Gannon and like Kristen and Evelina and all the rest of the international players going off to China to call the World Games, I kind of had this like zoomed out, bizarre, whoa moment. It's like, what? I don't even understand how this game took me to this place on the other side of the world, 12 hours away. I just spent 5 weeks in Finland talking about my friends playing Frisbee golf. It's just absolutely mind-boggling that a passion took me here. Obviously, it wasn't like I tripped over my shoelaces. I worked very hard, but the gratitude is that I somehow crafted a career out of the thing that I can't stop thinking about. And the beautiful thing of what I got to do transitioning into media was, yes, it was strange going from being like a peer of my friends to like someone who now has to judge them and comment on them all the time. But it's those bonds that I got to make with people early on. Like I'll never forget some of the rounds of catch, the field work I did with Paige back when I first started in 2018. Like we played a lot of Frisbee together back then. And now I get to comment on Paige knowing who she is as a person more so than maybe other sports commentators will ever get to know about the players they commentate on. So that's my gratitude. Where I am in life is pretty mind-boggling. Yeah, this game has taken me all over the world at this point, and it's pretty wild.
Here, here.
Anyone else?
I'll just say the similar thing, like getting on the plane, like after Finland or whatever, going to the airport, and it's just like, you see all these people, and it's like AB's parents are in front of me 2 rows in the airplane, and it's like Sullivan Tipton's right behind me, and it's just like, it's totally, Brian. I had such a similar moment where I was just like, this is just so cool. This is so cool. We're playing the World Championship in Finland. Gannon freaking won that thing. That was sick. Like Missy almost, literally, you're talking about earlier, I was picturing Worlds like where you think you might be out of it. Like I knew she was not out of that. Like she almost won World Championships as well. And like, it's just like, also like piggybacking on what you said, Brian, is like I can't stop thinking about disc golf. Like we were up till 1:30 doing whatnots, and I'm literally laying in bed for an hour and a half just thinking, how could we have done that better? What should we do next time? I just fall asleep thinking about it. I set my alarm for 7. That's the first thing I do. Go to my disc room. Like it's just yeah, it's like the gift that keeps on giving. Just this little plastic tie-dye red and yellow thing behind you, Gannon, that I can't stop looking at, even though there's like a pretty Christmas tree and northern lights. Like frisbees on the brain, and it's just like, how is this our job? And like sometimes I not take it for granted, but just like get like maybe I don't know the emotion, but like, you know, picture somebody at a desk job and like they're doing a typo and like someone's right behind them like, oh, she messed up that P was supposed to be an O or whatever. And it's like that part of it tries to dig you down, but like then just remembering like, okay, that was a bogey, but it was a pretty sick bogey. And like now I could try to get this birdie on the next hole, and like that's just constant. That's our job. Like try to get a birdie, try to win. And just like, I guess like in more simple, sorry, I was rambling now, but in more
it's a good ramble.
more simple terms, just like the gift that it's given me is like this like drive to like always try to do better, like at everything, at whatnots, at the next hole, at like the way that I speak, at everything. It's just like, it's just continues to give you opportunities to like get better in like so many different facets of it, like media, throwing, like all of it. It's just really cool. It's like this whole world that people love being introduced to, and it's like, whoa, disc golf is a huge thing. Like actually, okay, slight tangent. After our whatnot was over last night, nobody else was live disc golfers, so we rated a ball golfer stream. And I had in my whole chat be like, disc golf. And then they ended up like looking us up and like, they're like, whoa, disc golf is like this big. Oh my God, whatever. And then anyway, just like people just get so excited to find out how big disc golf is. And then once we're in it, we're like, it's consumed our whole lives. And it's just a beautiful gift.
Well, I kind of to piggyback off of Paige, you know, contrary to these two amazing players that are on either side of the screen, who have been playing their entire lives, you know, I was at a desk job for many years, and
wow. Can't picture it, Miss.
I know,
Just
it's crazy.
Wow.
I know, and you know, just sitting in an office, you know, and contemplating how serious I want to take disc golf, and is it worth it? You know, I'm pretty comfortable here in Colorado, looking at the beautiful Longs Peak mountain right out of my office window. Like, what? I didn't want to be there anymore, you know. And I liked my job, but disc golf was just kind of was showing me that all the anxiety and the stress that I was feeling as just a adult in the normal, you know, 9-to-5 world, was being cured by going to league after work and having fun, even if I was playing in 2 feet of snow with ribbons on my disc, and you know, with mostly just guys, you know, a couple of women at that point, but my anxiety would just go away, and you know, I've been kind of constantly reminded every time somebody asks me, like, how do you bounce back? How are you always smiling on the course? You know, how do you do that? How do you have a 4 over round and then a 10 under round? Like, how do you keep that positivity? And I'm like, I'm just so grateful to be even out here. You know, a bogey's not going to ruin my life. Like, I'm okay. One bad round is not going to be the end of me. Like, I have tomorrow, I have the next hole, I have the next shot. And, you know, you hear that a lot. That's kind of what we all say, like, hey, there's always the next shot. There's always, you know, the next opportunity. But it's what's kept me grateful, because I don't want to be back in an office. I don't even know if I would get a job at this point in an office. You know, I've been a disc golfer for 10 years. But you know, but I don't want that. And yeah, disc golf has just opened so many doors for me. Like you said, before 2022 even, I had never been out of the country. And now I've been to almost every continent on this earth. I'm missing 2. Maybe I do need to go to New Zealand just to
Yeah, you do.
hop down to Australia and get another
There's a course
continent off.
in Antarctica. There's a course there.
That would be
that
the goal if I can get 2 more continents and checked off. But I just never would have expected disc golf to be that avenue to get me to those places. And I'm forever grateful in so many different ways for what disc golf has brought me.
Wow.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Gannon, what do you have to say? It's Christmas time. We're getting touchy-feely. What do you have to say about your relationship with the game? I think Gannon... Oh, there he is.
Oh, he's here. Uh-oh, Gannon, you're muted.
Sorry, he went to go play B tier.
Yeah.
He's actually playing.
He was playing disc golf
That was
Valley.
green screen.
he was playing
these-
Disc Golf Valley.
These girls are rambling. I'm gonna go play disc golf Valley right there.
Gotta get those throws in.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Yes.
You're back.
Okay. I don't. My little internet bar was going weird there. Is it my turn? Or do I go?
It's your turn,
Yeah,
Gannon.
dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I've been fortunate enough, very blessed. I've never actually had a job before other than disc golf. I went straight from school into disc golf. Although it was probably similar feelings of like I really never liked school, and I just always felt like there had to be a way that I could have fun and have a job. And so I just dedicated my life to disc golf. And even today I was getting my hair cut, and I was just talking to the girl cutting my hair about what I do, and I was telling her about all these places I've traveled and stuff like that. And then she said, like, I wish I had a job where I could travel. And it like really made me take a step back and kind of like they're saying, like, a bogey, it does not matter. Like, you have to be so grateful for what we do. I mean, I can't even imagine what my life would look like without disc golf. And I'm just so grateful for what I have. I mean, I have maybe 4 or 5 friends from high school or from any of my schooling. And, the other 95% of friends that I have, hundreds are from disc golf. And it's just like, you need friends in life that you can talk to and, have good times with. And we also relate to something. It's disc golf. So it's just like, you couldn't ask for a better, scenario and situation. So I just want to make sure I'm always, just being the best I can to myself, like protecting my body. You only get one of them, and just being grateful for what I do as an athlete. So yeah, I'm just so thankful.
Gannon, you got a haircut today, and you're wearing a
That's
ball
what I
cap.
was like. Let me see.
Show
the
us what's
hair.
underneath.
That's funny.
Definitely
What do you got?
Let's see it.
Did you get a mullet? Show us.
He's fixing it. Oh, it's actually longer than I thought.
Ooh.
Okay.
A lot longer.
Show us
I
the
don't-
stash too. I see that little thing.
Oh my god.
I actually don't know if I've seen Gannon without a hat on.
This is awesome.
So
Was that a Vapor Enigma? I used to love those.
yeah, this is the present. This is the present I have, and I also have a World's.
That's
World's
sweet,
as a
man.
present.
Let's give away another Vapor Enigma, or give away a different disc, and let's trade for that, because I actually used to just love those.
Oh yeah.
The slightly domey ones, yeah.
Well, they
I
made
mean,
them
it
the 82
helps
now,
when you
and
throw
82 is the same
50
mold,
miles
but-
per hour.
Yeah. It's good for the 50 mile per hour throw.
Yeah,
Hang on.
that's what I said. It helps when you throw 50.
Perkins, you don't get to steal this. It's Christmas. You don't get to steal presents for the fans.
Hey, I'll
You're not-
find
No,
you
no,
one.
he'll
Good
give him a
one.
different one.
No.
Good one,
Gannon,
Perkins.
what question do you have for the fans? Do you have anything for them to get involved, or is it just leave a generic comment? What do you have for the fans?
Let's go. Put your favorite disc golfer quote, or in the comments, whether it's funny or
Nice.
it's cool, something like that. And
Love
then
it.
quotes, and then the player's name.
Great.
It's beer anyway.
What's
that was
yours, Gannon?
that's my
What's your
favorite.
favorite one?
I got no clue. That's,
yeah.
that's why I'm asking. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, Owens was like,
I know my favorite one.
yeah, that was.
I know
What's
my
your
favorite
favorite
one. My favorite is a Matteo interview
Preserve.
with Terry,
Oh.
and he's asking him what he's gonna have, and he's like gonna go to the Mall of America, and he's like talking about going to this Mexican restaurant. or
Anytime
going
I'm
to
south
this
in the Mississippi, gotta get.
Yeah, he's like, Yeah, he's like, on Mexican food east of the Mississippi, and just it is gold. I mean, the authenticity is never ending with that guy. And I do want to just real quick comment on this whole gratitude string right here, because it it really is gratitude. I feel like is the secret sauce, right? And I think that for those listening at home, like, you don't have to be a champion of the world. You don't have to be a 3-time Pro Tour champion or like one of the goats of disc golf in the FPO to have gratitude, right? You don't have to be a world traveler. Like, you can have gratitude for the sun when it rises. You can have gratitude for the clean water that we all have access to in the US. Like, there's so many different levels of gratitude, and like, you don't have to reach anywhere to have gratitude the whole way. And when you have it allows you to succeed. So just wanted to drop that note. Like, obviously it's easy when all of us have been given so much, but it can be easy for you too to have gratitude. So that's what I got.
Man, you're the man, Perks. It's been real quick, this is the 46th episode this year, Nate. Did you know that? We
That's
have not
crazy.
skipped a single week. And we're finally, just for you listeners out there, we've given you 3 shows in a row. We're finally taking our first ever week off. We'll see you in 2026. So as we wrap this up, we have to show you the man himself. Jeffrey Tosi has such an important job at the Disc Golf Pro Tour. This man essentially built DGN, and he is such a positive, optimistic light in the world of disc golf media. And he's out of the goodness of his heart producing this show for us. Tosi, can you put yourself on camera? I know you got a couple of gifts for the fans as well, and I'm hoping that this works. Can you get yourself on screen? There is that sweet boy. Tosi, I have to say, again, you have so much on your plate, and you've spent so much time helping us put this show together. And Perkins and I, as commentators, we need a show like this. It's like our Tournament Central that got taken so abruptly away from us. This allows us to practice. It allows us to stay tapped in, and you've pretty much facilitated it the entire way. So thank you. I know you have a couple of gifts. This guy was also in China. This guy was running the pirate ship that was the production booth of people that have never produced disc golf before. So Tosi, you got some gifts from China. Can you explain?
I do, and this might be a good opportunity for Gannon to show off the gold medal as well, if you want, Gannon. But yeah, China was magic. I'm going to take this off so I don't hear an echo. Yeah, China was magic. It was definitely the experience of my year, being there with Missy was there, and Gannon was there, Tom was there, and of course Brian and I stayed together. And yeah, it was just a magical, really incredible experience. You know, seeing Kristen's potential last tournament that we'll see for a while at least. So all that was great. Yes, I do have gifts. I'm going to switch my camera over so we can make this a little more. So the first gift, once this switches, here we go, is right here. And oh, it's good.
It's beautiful.
It is.
Oh,
They signed Missy Gannon Buhr, gold medal. They won. They were so good. The way that your behaviors changed on game day is something I'll never forget. It showed me what a true champion is. We're having fun there the whole time, and then it was game time, and you both just locked in, destroyed everybody. And just for the fans at home, this got that 1X on it for Gannon. We know that number is going to increase over the years, so this is a pretty cool gift. And what I'm going to do is, because that was such a magical experience for me, I want that to be the question. So please share with us your most magical disc golf experience. And that's it. And I'll pick who gets this.
That's a sweet disc.
So my friend Daniel from Leon Discs, let me give a shout out to all the guys there. Seven, Tony, Daniel, and then Iman. She's amazing. They heard that I was going to do a Christmas special, and they packaged this beautiful, you'll get the whole package with it too. And so they run a disc company. They have 5 PDGA approved discs, but they're getting into fairway drivers, and every year they're going to do a different prototype, one of a kind. And what this is the god of money. And the god of money is usually in restaurants to help them, succeed. And so in the spirit of you guys pitching my film yesterday, which is super cool, I want to know the best
free thing or experience that our fans have ever experienced. So whoever has the best free experience they want to share.
So that's it. I'm going to put my headset back on in case you want to ask.
Well, thank you, Tosi. That was fantastic. And I would like all of us to answer one of those questions. What is your most magical disc golf experience, or what is the best free thing you've ever received? And then we'll wrap the show. We'll wrap the year, which is I'm so grateful that all of you joined us throughout this this special. Gannon, you're a sicko. You're the third host. You can come on whenever you want now. You've done fantastic. I'll start it off. The best free thing I've gotten, and I've thought back throughout my entire life, especially targeted to my career. Yuli offered me my first Jomez commentary gig. We were touring together for a very short period of time. I had a freak accident. I don't know if you guys remember when I broke my toe, but my foot it hooked on the umbrella loop of my grip bag, and I fell one way and it went the other way. I broke my toe. I was going to be on the lead card or the feature card that day because I had just gotten top 10 at Memorial. And Yuli, because I wasn't playing, did a bunch of things behind the scenes to like make me money. He did like a run of Bearheart discs. There's only 50 of them out there. Apparently they're a collector's item. He made those without me knowing. I got the money from that. And then he's like, hey, do you want to do Jomez commentary? It's like $100 or something like that. And I was like, yeah. And that was the first gig where I started to get messages from people saying like, hey, this guy is pretty good. I didn't know who this guy was. But he sounds pretty nice, and it kind of kicked my career off because it gave my resume something beefy to send off to Central Coast, Go Throw, all these other companies, and it led to my gig with Gatekeeper, with Perkins, and now here I am on DGN. So that was probably the best free thing for me was just that opportunity.
Go for it, Paige.
Oh, okay. Man, it's so hard that the best thing or like, you know, you think about all these things and like just all decades worth of gifts and like just people welcoming you in your home, in their home, and like cooking you their family's meals, and like honestly, I'll just say that, like, because it's just like countless people, and like there's just nothing like
Lagesons.
I mean, there's just nothing like
Danish food.
A home cooked meal, like sitting, and it's not just the food too. It's like sitting at that table that they get to decompress too, and they're having this magical moment, right? But it's like just as magical for you, like to receive it as it is for them to give it, and it just keeps happening. Like you meet these people all over the world, and they just welcome you like your family, and I think I would just say that it's not a specific thing, but just like that's the disc golf community for you in general. That's just it. That itself is magical. So I guess just being welcomed in.
Who else? Beautiful Paige.
I mean, I think maybe it's just fresh in my mind because, like Paige said, it's like it's so hard to remember or pick just one and also remember all of the amazing things that have happened or that, you know, you've received or anything like that. But I'll just stick with just the ability to travel. And, you know, I grew up with very little and not even thought about being able to travel for disc golf or in general. And I'm getting all emotional. I don't know why. But you know, just
it's magical.
It is. But it's just I think it just kind of goes along with gratitude and just what disc golf has given me. And maybe I'm just sleep deprived. I don't know. I don't know. But I think it just extends from the all of the amazing things that I've accomplished, but also experienced, and you know, to think back and think about talking to myself, my younger self, and I couldn't have ever imagined being where I am right now.
Wow.
You're the best. You're the best, Missy. Thank you for that.
I feel like I can't. How do I back that up? How do I?
Yeah, you're toast.
Give a
man.
tear
You're-
stick
you're-
or something?
You're toast, dude. You got
I was
nothing.
gonna. I don't really have. I can't think of anything at the moment. But I'm gonna go honestly, which did mean a lot to me. Simon's original red and yellow PD, which is obviously which all these ones are inspired by. His first run PD he gave to me at Deglo last year, and there's a lot of people out there that want that disc, and to me, like it means a lot because it's such an iconic disc, and disc golf means so much to me that that was an amazing gift, and I'm really thankful for that one.
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Can I intervene real quick? Because I just want to, Nate and Brian and Gannon, your history of the sport too, like the disc that Macbeth threw Obi in the playoff against James Conrad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Raptor.
And I just actually, I was thinking for you, magical, Gannon, of like hearing it at Worlds, like Gannon. I mean, that was magical for me, and I'm not even you. Like that was just.
Well, I thought we were just doing gifts, so I would have said that for sure. Yeah.
Wow. But back to the like, so another time that happened was when James won. Well, he hadn't won yet, but he was walking up to the playoff hole, and everyone's like, Conrad.
Yep.
And I just, in my heart, I'm already like crying, like thinking about he won. Like, I don't even know, have to see what happens right here. Like, how can you not win when that's the feeling in the air, right? And Macbeth throws his shot, skips OB into the water. Anyway, I just bought that disc on Whatnot. I'm the proud owner of the disc
Wow.
that
That's
potentially won James Conrad Worlds. I own it. Isn't that
That's
Wow.
cool. That's really cool.
I bought it.
Yeah,
I didn't get
I
it
still
gifted
can't
from
believe he
Simon,
went
but
Raptor. I still can't believe he went Raptor there. It's like
Sounds
I felt
awesome.
like everyone knew that they skip straight when they
Yeah.
land like that. And yeah, I specifically remember him. He had his head down in his hands and he was like shaking up on
Yeah.
the tee pad
Wouldn't
before he
you
threw.
be-
There was like I mean, I
was
definitely
going
would.
crazy,
I
just-
definitely would.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was like shaking and yeah, but I'll go with mine. I think I've got two. I'll keep the first one quick, and it's obviously the gift of the friends and the families that I've made. I mean, it's funny. I try to explain this Paige to people because, like my wife, Catherine, I'm always trying to explain. I'm like, they're not really my friends anymore. They're like my family.
yeah.
Right? It's like these guys are my family, and like we might not all talk all the time, but just like you're my family, Paige. Like Kevin is Paul Oman, like Brian. People are my family, and that will never go away. Like even if I'm done with disc golf, or it just is never going to go away, and it's its own category, and so that gift is timeless. And then a recent one is the gift of like tradition. You're going down to New Zealand this winter, Paige. I'm so stoked that you're making the trip, and I'm going down again for my 4th year in a row somehow. So grateful for that. But there's a Maori friend that I have down there. They are the natives of that land, and he took me. His name's Jay Pweki, and he took me fishing, and it's more than just a fishing trip, though. It's like bringing me into his family's tradition, because he's going out there not to fish for sport, but to harvest fish for him and his family. And he had his son, and he had his best friend, and his best friend had his daughter. And they welcomed me into the tradition. We went 10 miles off the coast into the ocean, and we caught some cod. And then he gave me a wetsuit and put a spear gun in my hand, and he taught me what fish I was looking for. And then I'm like diving underwater, up against this reef, and shot my first fish underwater. And then he showed me how to catch the rock lobster underwater. And it was like the single greatest fishing experience of my life. And you know how much I love fishing. And looking back on that, it was all he gave it to me for free, but he gifted me this experience, but he gifted me their tradition, and I got to feel him teaching his little boy like how to do this, and his friend teaching his daughter, the ropes, and her teaching me. And so those kind of gifts are like, it's hard to really even put a value on that. So that's it for me.
So cool.
Perkins, thank you. And I'll never forget the worm tunnel that you told me a few weeks ago. I'll never forget that story. You have incredible nature stories. But to wrap this up, Tosi, you don't get to talk too much on this show. You're always working behind the scenes. What do you have to say for the fans as we wrap up this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll just first take my headset off so I don't hear myself. But really what I want to say is like the podcast for me is sort of the low-hanging fruit of the thing that came free. We conceptualized this together, the three of us. I don't think any of us could have really seen how it would grow and change. And for me, I've done most sort of media in my history, but podcasting is new and exciting.
I really think we can do anything with it. So
I just want to really say thank you to everybody who's still watching. And if you're watching on Christmas, that's extra special. Yeah, I mean, it means the world when you guys write to us. It got some incredible emails. We can't respond to everything, but we try. Yeah, it's been wonderful. I hope you guys enjoyed this Christmas special. We tried to do something a little special and different. So just thank everyone here for showing up and making this a special episode.
Get out of here, folks. It's done. It's over. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to everyone out there. And we will see you in 2026 for another year of All Birdies, No Bogeys. For Brian Earhart, Nate Perkins, Jeffrey Tosi, Gannon Buhr, Missy Gannon, and Paige Pierce, we are out. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
See
Happy
ya.
holidays.
Bye. Happy holidays.